Looks like we should be live now. What's up, guys? This is Steven here, and it is Tuesday, so we're doing a preview for the upcoming event, and it is called Celtic Creed. So this is the first event of the new season, and the new season is called. What is the season called? Oh, I guess it's Solar Ascension season, right? So this is going to be the Solar Ascension season, and we're going to be doing a quick look at we're going to be taking a look at the heroes. I do have enough to go 4 tiers this time, so I'm going to take a look and see how we do. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the chat here. And, oh, hey, it's PTC69, fellow guildmate. Welcome here. And you wish you could stay longer, but you would be sleeping soon. All right, well, I guess we should just get right into it. So I think, so this is a new season. It is going to be a Water Slayer Immortal Killer bonus. And it also happens to be right before St. Patrick's Day. And so they are coming out with a deck that sort of pays homage to that. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards. I'm going to do some pulls. We're going to actually get started right away with tier 1. We will... Thank you very much for the well wishes. We're going to go 4 tiers, and then we're going to take a look and see what we get. All right, and let's take a look here. So tier 1, and you can see they also have this new token there. So let's take a look. I think that might be the token you get for. Oh no, it isn't. So there's a Celtic summoning coin. And so I'm not sure exactly what the summoning coin is yet. We could take a look at the newsfeed also just to see what that is. But there is something that, thank you so much for the donation there. So let's take a look and see what we can get with our second tier. And so we have, so I don't even know what to do with this. First time receiving it, so thank you so much. It's JSH. Thank you so much, and I know that you're also about to go to sleep, so thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, so we get our support card. This is Bridget. I don't know how to say it properly there, but that is a support card. So tier 2, and unfortunately, we don't have anything else. And so, like, the goal here is if I can get something, then I'll be able to showcase it. But we'll see. We'll see our luck. All right. So we'll go 4 tiers there, and then we'll see what happens. Yes, thank you very much. I do hope for some good luck as well. Last season, I would say that my luck wasn't quite there. I think all five events, I just got one gold card out of all 4. That isn't a guaranteed relic. So let's see. So that's Assault Spear. So that's the event relic there. And unfortunately, nothing there. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be short 40 gems. I'm gonna be short 40 gems. All right. I'm going to try and see if I can get any. Let's trade the gems. Let's trade some gems. Need 2 boxes. I will. That's hilarious. I didn't plan well enough. I actually short 40 gems there. Didn't get any gems from when I was fighting against the silver boss, and didn't pay attention. For some reason, I thought I could go 4 tiers, but I couldn't. So let's go ahead and talk about the cards anyway. 3 tiers, nothing. But let's go ahead and talk about this. All right. So we've got the ultimate form, which is Tuath Day. All right, and this is a card. So this deck has more passive abilities that you sort of have to manage. Am I close to leveling up? I will take a look afterwards. I think maybe I'll see. I think I just need to do a couple more events. Okay, so we've got the battle skill Danu's Blessing, and this is a this skill will cleanse all your debuff. Okay, and this one has a condition. So it'll cleanse all the debuffs, and then if there's no debuffs to cleanse, it'll heal instead. Now, because the word heal is used in here, this will be impacted by toxin. So it doesn't matter even if you don't actually heal. Like let's say you have, let's say you're gem silenced. And there's Toxin. Well, I don't think this will work against Toxin because of the way that the fact that heals is in here. I'll have to test it out against a, well, if I get it, I can test it out. But try against a Toxin enemy and see if my statement is true. Because usually, as soon as you see anything that has heal in it, Toxin automatically kills it unless it's a hero that cannot be silenced. All right. But that's the passive ability, and then so that's a battle. That's a battle skill, and then the passive ability also will create 12 water power gem 6s and increase the attack for a single turn. But it has a 3-turn cooldown, so that means every 3 turns it's going to generate 12 power gem 6s. So it's quite a bit. It has a 3-turn cooldown, so that means every 3 turns you should expect to have a bunch of power gems. And because your battle skill is also has a 3-turn cooldown, it's basically whenever you activate it, that's when you're going to get your passive ability. And a second passive ability is that when you attack, it's going to dispel all the enemy buff, and that includes might, fear, armor, right? So what happens is it will dispel them as you attack, so it basically allows you to do damage if armor is put on the boss, for example. Like last event we had armor, and that was really difficult to deal with. This would cleanse that. And so this deck technically is a cleanse all and dispel all, so it could be very useful in a lot of situations. It's just that these are passive as opposed to active battle skills, so you can't really control when to use it. But at least in this case, every time, as long as you attack, you'll always be able to dispel something. And since this stacks, if there's another card that will also dispel a buff, then that means when you're up against a boss that has like might followed by blind, or dodge followed by armor followed by fear, if you have 2 of those cards, then you'll be able to dispel 2 of them. And so and then if there is no buff, it will delay all enemy turn by 1. Oh, okay, and then there's a cooldown. So I actually have to take this back. So this passive doesn't happen all the time. It will only dispel once every 5 turns, and it will delay once every 5 turns if there's no buffs. So this is where I was talking about, like, this is kind of weird. And the cooldowns there's different cooldowns here, 3 and 5. So it's nice in that it has all these things, but what's really weird is that you can't control it. This is a passive thing. Like, you can only do it through passive ability. And so more often than not, I don't think people will remember when it's going to happen. And so unless they have like a very visual cue of like when it's going to happen, I feel like it's something that people are just going to forget. So that's the sort of the challenge with having a lot of passive abilities that have cooldowns associated with it, is that you have to remember it. And so I just think that's a little bit more complicated. Then we have would this be Luff or Luke? King's Patron. The battle skill here creates 10 power gem 6s and then increases water slayer attack. 3-turn cooldown with 9 gem charge rate. So this is an active one. That's the Master Collection card. And then the passive ability, it's the same thing where it has a 5-turn cooldown that can dispel buff and also delay enemies' turn by 1 if there is no buff. And so basically, like on the very, very, very first turn, I think this happens on the very first turn too, right? So if you attack on turn 0, there's no buff, and that means you're going to at least delay your enemy turn by 1. And if you have the Master Collection card and an ultimate form, that's 2 turns that you're going to delay. So could be also pretty useful in like commander events. And also in Guild versus Guild, you automatically start the fight with turn delay. And so this is something that is interesting. Again, theoretical. I wish I could test it out if I had the cards, but we'll see if we can get that later on, and then we can test it out. But at least if you use the Master Collection card and the ultimate form, you should be starting out by turn delaying your opponents, and it has a 5-turn cooldown. But if you have like 4 Master Collection cards and 1 ultimate form, then you should be able to turn delay without the boss ever attacking you, because you're going to be able to delay them for 5 turns, and it has a 5-turn cooldown. So I think if that would be the best situation to never get attacked. Okay. Now, Woman of Wisdom is the ultra rare card. This one, you can actively cleanse the debuff from the Water Slayer. So this is interesting now. So like all of the active battle skills for the ultra rare card and the Master Collection card becomes the passive ability for your the ultimate form. Okay, and then the passive that creates 12 water power gems is so the passive ability here will create 12 power gems, and it has a 3-turn cooldown. So what do we know? So we can use the ultra rare card to cleanse debuff, okay, and it passively will cleanse too from the ultimate form. We can also turn delay passively, okay, and we can also dispel all buffs. So there's a lot of things going on for this particular. There's a lot of things going on in this particular deck. It's just that you have to sort of manage and sort of know what you're using. But if you used all of these cards together, you should have a pretty easy time in a lot of situations. And so you are Cask W in Discord. Okay, remember we had a conversation there. So again, thank you so much for your donation there. And let's see, Vincent Hartman, could I get some gems? I learned so much. Let's see. I think I got a couple. I have to send you guys back, so I have to remember who I got them from, and so I will send you guys back. Okay. So we got Aenir, two gifts. That's 35, and I need just 5 more. Okay, so I will send this back. We got just enough. We're gonna have 5 gems remaining for our tier 4. So let's go back and open up because the remaining cards are just event card and a support card. So let's pull one more tier and then let's see what we get from there. So 2,505 gems is what I have, and I will send it back to you guys. Appreciate that. So that miscounted my gems, so that was kind of silly there. All right, so this is the main hero, Kern or Karen. I'm trying to figure out what the proper pronunciation would be, but this is Antlered God, and that is the event card. And we have a second event relic, Assault Spear. Come on, let's hope for one of the two cards here, if we can. It doesn't look like though. I'm getting a bunch of coins. Yeah, no. So that's going to be unfortunate in that I don't have anything other than the guarantee cards and the vault. The vault rewards this time happens to be 3 different sets of evolution coins, and we have ourselves a cane. So I do appreciate the gems. Like I said, I will be sending them back to you. Hold on, I don't need to do this live. All right, so that was a little sidetrack. We'll come back. We'll talk about the cards because unfortunately, we'll not be able to show you guys the Master Collection card or the Ultra Rare card in action. But let's take a look at the event card and the support card and see if there's anything useful from those cards. All right. So the battle skill for the event card will create 8 power gem force and then increase the attack 20%. It's really not that big of a deal. But this one here it is. So the event card will delay all enemies' turns by 1 on attack. So I believe that if this is in turn 0, you'll be able to do a turn delay right away. So we will test out that theory right after this. We'll put this in the team and then we will give it a shot. And then so turn delay is always nice. It's always nice to have a turn delay card in your deck. It gives you more time to do something to plan for your attack and not get damaged. And unless the boss is, basically has like ascended skill where it activates every turn, you will also have the luxury of not getting hit by the debuff until a turn or 2 later. So turn delay is always very useful. And so I think that there is a lot of things that are very interesting with this particular deck. I think it's more utility than anything. But now if you take a look, like let's go back and revisit now, because there was a lot to kind of think about. Ultra rare card, the ultimate form is the one that doesn't give you any gems when you activate. Okay, so this one gives you a debuff, but you don't get any gems from it. However, you are getting this passively from your passive ability for once every 3 turns, and you're also going to be doing turn delay once every 5 turns. But just because you don't get that from your ultimate form doesn't mean you don't get it from your Master Collection card, because now your Master Collection card, your Ultra Rare cards are sort of flipped in that when you activate your battle skill, you're getting the gems. Okay, and then you have the passive ability that will dispel. So this one will give you the combination of Master Collection card, Ultimate Form, gives you power gems on basically 2 turn delays, and then you're going to get a total of 22 power gems on turn 0. I think I need to go back to this because I need to start counting, right? Because this one, like, this is what you're going to start with. So turn 0, you're going to get 12 from ultimate form, and you're going to get 10 from your Master Collection card, assuming you activate it. And if you also have the Ultra Rare card in play, then what you're going to get is you're going to get Debuff, Cleanse, and also you're going to heal. So you're not going to activate the Ultra Rare card on turn 0 because you don't have anything to dispel and you don't need to heal. So you're not actually going to use the Ultra Rare card in this case, but instead you're going to have additionally 12 Power Gem 6s. So with these 3 cards, you're looking at 34 Power Gems on turn 0. Okay, so that is going to be a pretty good like turn 0 power gem situation. You're going to crush into a lot. We do have weaken, and so weaken is going to hurt in terms of like you're not gonna anything that has like a buff. You can't get your attack buff. You can't get anything like that. So weaken is going to be a little bit of a challenge to deal with. Thorns, if you get hit by it, you will get damage when you get hit, but you're not going to. You're not actually going to die from it. Like you cannot die from thorn because it's percentage based. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. So we got thorns and weaken so far, and then traitor. So traitor, I think it's the same. This one you get damaged per card. I can't remember if that kills you or not, but thorns cannot kill you. I know that. So you've got two debuffs that will hurt you, right? So thorn is a buff on the boss, and traitor's a debuff against you. But if you have the Master Collection card and you have the ultimate form, you're going to dispel everything, right? Because there's no toxins, so you're going to be fine there. You're going to be able to dispel it without any issues. So that was and then the event card will also give you a turn delay. So you can use the event card to do turn delay for you as well. And so far I think that's a pretty useful card. But being it's a passive ability, you just have to remember, because this is an Immortal card, a lot of people will probably want to use like, high performance unit area. The thing is, you need to get hit with high performance unit area in order to activate it. So the turn delay can sometimes throw off your timing. So just have to remember to watch out for that. And then we have Bridget, which has the passive ability that will increase the Water Slayer attack by 15% every single turn, as long as there is at least 10 gems on the board. So this is one of the first times in a long time where the support card gives you a sort of an attack boost. So that's kind of nice. And you can also create 10 water gems every 3 turns. And if you don't have more than 10 gems, it will significantly increase your water gem drop rate instead. Again, they're using words here, so you don't really know how much percentage you're talking about here, but it's kind of nice. Like it's like you have this more like a conditional type deck where if this condition is met, you get this action, or otherwise you get this action instead. And so you're always guaranteed to have something happen, and this passive ability will always come in. So that means you're always going to have increased attack as long as you use the support card, right? Every turn you're guaranteed to have either increased attack or you're going to have increased drop rate. And so from like this sort of perspective of like the deck overall, it feels actually kind of interesting to me. Okay, I'm going to build this out and then we're going to test it out because I want to see the event card in action as well, and then we will talk about the cards afterwards. But I can't really tell whether this is going to be a strong deck or not, but for me, I think that if you have some of the Immortal boosters like High Performance Unit Area, or if you have the Perceptive Gurus, you could potentially use that to your advantage. Oh, I'm actually using the wrong cards here, so I'm going to bring that back. Bridget, and I have a ton of these other cards. Now, these are the other, this was the previous hero for Immortal Killer, and then we also have Dreamers of Destiny. That is the previous one also. So let's go ahead and do our Water Slayer. And I'm going to talk about this relic also. So just give me 1 second. I need to bring in these two. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll just kind of add these, and then we'll probably go against a regular boss just to see. Give me a second to take a look at the chat also. So Alavika finally catching me live, and you've already reviewed the deck, and you're usually sleeping here 6 a.m. in Russia. Well, thank you for joining me here. We had a time change here in the U.S., and so I couldn't go as early as I normally would. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look in Legend Trials. Now, my assertion here is that if you can get multiple copies of Master Collection card and the Ultimate form, you should be able to just basically turn delay your bosses nonstop. I wonder if that's going to be the case. So let's take a look. Okay, so this is a water boss, so we're gonna go up against our fire boss here. So let's go ahead and summon Ozomatli, and then we will do a battle. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a battle, and then we'll bring this team in. So what we should expect here is every turn we should expect to have 15% attack boost from each of the support cards, and we should have 1 turn delay. And I forgot to show you, I think everybody got this relic. So they got this relic, Clover Band. The Clover Band will give you 1 power gem of a random affinity at the start of every turn. And so this is, I think, something that we'll be able to upgrade over the event. And so we'll see if this, like maybe we can do like a pink star, 2 pink stars, depending on whatever it is. Maybe it's in the newsfeed we can take a look at as well. This applies to all heroes, and it also reduces damage taken for the first 3 turns. Interesting that it creates a power gem 2 of a random affinity. So let's go ahead and test this out. Now, Con William Deep says that the passive delays will make it almost impossible to use Area Gurus. That's correct, because you need to attack, you need to get hit in order to use it. All right, so I didn't see. I was talking, so I didn't see if it actually happened. Okay, so let's see. It has a 5-turn cooldown because you can't see passive ability. So I'm gonna count the turns. So right. So this is turn 0. Yeah. So you see on attack, it actually turn delay. So you saw that it turned delay on the first turn, right? And so if you're up against a boss that has that's about to attack, you will get that turn delay just on that because of that single card there. And so if you have 4 Master Collection cards and the Ultimate form, like I said, you're going to have, at the beginning, you're going to have 5 turn delay, okay? You're going to delay by 5 turns, and then by the time that it comes down to 0, you've attacked again, you're going to reset and then do another turn delay once again. And so I feel like you combine that with the fact that you could also, combine that with the fact that you could also dispel everything. It feels almost like you wouldn't be challenged much in a lot of situations. Like I'm not saying that it's going to be a guild versus guild killer per se, but I just kind of feel like it is it gives you immunity almost, like, because you're guaranteed to not get hit, right? So if you ask me what is the optimal setup, I would almost say probably Ultimate form and 4 Master Collection cards, because I mean the ultra rare card does passively give you power gems, and it does give you ability to dispel. But if you it depends on whether turn delay is going to be better for you or not. So that's the deck, right? And so is this a strong deck though? Like if you just take a look at the skills themselves, I don't know that the deck itself necessarily is going to be the powerhouse. Basically any deck at this point, if you don't have some sort of a booster, okay, that is in the magnitude of thousands of attack boost, thousands of percent of attack boost, or some like 100% damage boost or something like that, you're going to find that the damage is going to be similar from deck to deck to deck, right? In the past, like seasons, if you take all of those decks that just have like the basic non-boosted type attack, you're going to find that you're in a Slayer event, you're probably going to deal like maybe 100 trillion, maybe 50 trillion, 200 trillion, like around there probably. You're not going to get like that might be higher than what you might actually see, right? So what you're seeing here is, let's say we get 48 power gems on turn 1 from all the battle skills. The problems are such. Number 1, the way the gem crush works and all of these battle skills, because the ultimate form will give you passive. Okay, so you generate your power gems passively, and then let's see. So that's 12 from ultimate form, and then you can use your battle skill actively. So let's say we have 4 Master Collection cards. We want all of our turn delay. Okay, and then so we can do 10, then 10, then 10, and 10. So what you're gonna get here is you'll probably get to crush your gems to maybe power gem level 10 to 12. You'll probably get a roll of 11 to 12, but it's not really boosted by much. Okay, so 4 Master Collection cards, 30%. We're talking about 120% attack, Slayer attack boost. And then does the ultimate form also give you any? And then you get another 30. Okay, so 150% attack boost for your Slayer deck if you're using the current event deck. No other boosters, no area, and no high performance unit area, and no perceptive gurus. You're probably looking at somewhere in the, oh my gosh, I don't even want to say 200 because that feels like a lot. Total damage maybe, but it's going to be lower than you expect it would. What we're used to seeing decks do a lot of damage because there's damage boost plus attack boost that you kind of combine, and then you can get somewhere in closer to a quadrillion damage. Keep in mind that we have radiant bosses, all right? And so I don't know that if you just went out and bought this event deck on its own, you don't have anything else to go with it, I don't know that you're going to find yourself taking down the boss as easy as you think you would. This is the problem right now that we are facing. We've had such good booster cards from a year ago, okay, that those of us who were there a year ago have benefited from it. You can get it from the Proving Ground store now, so that is something that is possible. But if you don't have it, then you're not going to be able to benefit from it. And we saw this last Slayer season as well, right? Last Slayer event, people were extremely upset that they spent so much, gems on their deck, and they couldn't do as much damage because there's also now radiant bosses that have hundreds of quadrillions of health, right? So, can this deck on its own take down a radiant boss? Based on what I'm seeing, I don't think it can easily. I mean, you can definitely find a combination. There's definitely going to be combinations that's going to work, but you're probably going to end up doing something like this, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So let's see. We also have Apex Predators, which is the previous Immortal Killer event deck. So if you have that, you don't have this event deck, you could use this. So I will use this to give myself the 900% boost. And this one gives you 2 power gem ones for every 5 gems on the board. This is sort of like that ability that worked before Gem Crush, and with Gem Crush, it just kind of took away a lot of the power for this particular deck, okay? But as I was saying, one of the things that you might consider doing instead of doing with a full Immortal deck is you might consider doing something like this. Use the Lost Kingdom Guardians, for example. Okay, so Lost Kingdom Guardians is a... Oh, I probably want this one. Lost Kingdom Guardians is an arcane card. All right, so what you can do is you do this, and then you put in the Watcher of the Waves here. Now, what's nice is you can put in the ultimate form and probably put in the Master Collection card in here. But then you need to have another card in here that is going to be your jailers. All right. So now what you do is you would use this combination where jailers is going to give you a boost on your arcane arcane cards whenever there is a turn delay. And so what you're doing here is you're actually going to get you're using your current ultimate form to do the turn delay and to boost your arcane cards. So the best combo, in my opinion, is going to be jailers, event deck, Lost Kingdom Guardians, and 2 copies of the Watcher of the Waves. The reason for that is Watcher of the Waves gives you a turn delay. Okay, so if you look at the battle skill, so it creates 7 power gems 5s, and when you ambush, the effects are double, and the enemy's turn counter is increased by 1. So what happens is on turn 0, you'll be able to activate. Okay, so that gives you turn delay plus ultimate form gives you turn delay, so that's 3 turn delays, and you also get the turn delay from your ultimate form for the passive ability, and then jailers will boost it by 1200% for every turn delay you do. Okay, so just those 3 cards, you're talking about 3600% attack boost, including ultimate form. That should be 4800% attack boost. So this is going to immediately give you way more damage than you can possibly get with the deck on its own. And the nice thing about Watcher of the Waves is that even though the actual turn delay only happens when you are ambushing, the fact that the battle skill says the words enemy's turn counter is increased by 1 will actually power up jailers every time you activate the battle skill. So even though the enemy's turns are not technically delayed when you activate Watcher of the Waves after you activate the first time, you'll still power up jailers. And so in my opinion, this is just my personal opinion, don't have the deck, so I can't show you, can't try it. If you put jailers in here, and instead of focusing on boosting Immortal, you focus on boosting Arcane, you might actually get way more damage turn 0 than the event deck. Despite the fact that you're going to get tons and tons of power gems, with that particular setup, this is going to give you a lot too, because you're getting also 14 power gem 5s with Watcher of the Waves and another 14 power gem 5s with Lost Kingdom Guardian. So you're not really losing out. Okay, if we're talking turn 0 here, we're talking similar power gem upgrade capability, and we're talking about, now we're talking about the difference between having a booster that gives you, like I said, turn 0, we're talking upwards of 4,800% attack boost versus not. And so, to me, what this really means is you're really just going to get the event deck to power up another deck. If you're looking to compete at the highest level and you're looking to get MVP and you're looking to get good damage, I guarantee you the deck that you're going to find yourself using is going to be a non-vanilla deck. What I mean by that is you're not going to be using just this event deck. I can guarantee you that if you're looking to compete and you're looking for ideas, you're going to see something like what I just showed you. You're going to see something like Lost Kingdom Guardians with jailers. You might see, let's see, another one is going to be Chaos, right? So what you're going to see is you're going to see water, and then let's go take a look at Chaotic Killer. So you might then see also Wave Breakers be another one. So you might be seeing people play with this combination. They're going to use Wave Breakers. I guess they're going to use Wave Breakers, but and then they're going to use Sirens. Okay, so let's go ahead and use Commander in here. So I have Linus of the Sea. I can actually get the full ultimate form this season because I'll be able to get the Master Collection card of that card. And so you're going to see something like this. Okay, so we're going to get Wave Breaker. Again, we need to keep the Immortal Killer Slayer in there. But then what we can get is it going to be Ocean Wave Ika that's going to give us this? Yeah, so we're going to get Ocean Wave Ika as well, right? We're going to boost our we're going to be boosting our chaotic killer damage as much as we can. I don't think Auspicious Defenders is going to. Yeah, I suppose we can also do something. I mean, we can probably do something to this effect, although I feel like there's going to be something better. However, what we're doing this time is we can go the Chaotic Killer route. The Chaotic Killer route, Lightnings of the Sea, what it gives you is if you have 16 or more water gems on the board, you increase attack by 1,300%. And so typically what people would do is they would either put just the ultimate form, or they would put in the two copies of that card. Okay, so now you have options for Arcane, and you also have options for. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to evolve to show you the ultimate form, right? So you can see Headstrong Sirens is going to have the similar. Actually, it has more, right? So if you have the Headstrong Sirens, it gives you 1,600% attack boost. If you have 16 or more water gems on the board, you're going to be able to get that. You're going to be able to get that on turn 0. Okay, and let's see what this one does is you also destroy more gems so you can get more gems on the board. And this will also, you can increase some chaotic intensity, although you're not really going to be using chaotic relics here. So it's not going to, you're not really going to get that, but you can still create a lot of Power Gem force. It's just that it's Power Gem force rather than Power Gem 5s or 6s. But the utility of this card is in its attack boost. So you got Arcane, and you've got Chaotic. You also have Noble. Okay, so if you have Santa, if you have like the Water Santa card, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to look at Water Noble. Again, you're using the current event ultimate form as the, it's a support card to give you the killer bonus. That's what you're doing. Okay, then you're going to have you can use Phantom Scene, you can use Combat Ready Crew, and you can use Phantom Unseen for a really nice full board Gem Crush. Put a couple of Santas in there, and bam, you're going to get a ton of battle skills. Well, the only problem with using the Noble Killer, the Noble deck with Santa is you kind of have to bring up intensity in order to get the maximum benefit, right? But I think you start with a pretty good amount anyways. So I think it's the same. Let's see. I think it's the same numbers as Circuit Break Hilaria. So let's take a look. So Circuit Break Hilaria is going to have the same skills as Santa. I can't show you because I don't have the card. That's why I have to use Circuit Break. So if you're going with the Noble route, then you could have a card that gives you 200% boost that increases by 10 times if you have 8 fire gems or higher on the board. So I guess actually you can get 2,000% attack boost with a single Noble Santa card, as long as you have 8 or more power gems on the board. But you have to activate a skill. So turn 0 again. Get 8 or more power gems on water power gems on the board. Activate your Santa. Get 2,000% attack boost for all your Noble Killer cards, and then you have in here, this is chaotic, and you can use Noble. Okay, and so we have now 3 options for you to take down your deck, and none of them really is technically using the. None of them is really using the event deck as a, none of them are really using them for its attack. Like, you're just using it for the killer boost. And so to me, unfortunately, I feel like in this current form, because of the passive turn delay, you're not going to be able to use, like Han William D was saying earlier, you're not going to be able to really use your high performance unit area as easily because you won't get hit. So like turn 0, because if you attack with the ultimate form, you're going to at least turn delay by 1. And if you want to use the Immortal Killer deck, then you're going to use more of those cards. So you're probably going to increase the turn delay by 2. So that turns it into a turn 4 deck. in order for you to use the battle skill, get hit, get the bonus boost, then you attack. In a Slayer deck, in a Slayer event, like, the boss is dead. The boss is dead by the time you can even power it up. So I kind of ranted on a little bit, but I kind of want to just make sure you guys understand. If you buy into this deck, you're buying it for the killer skill. You're not buying it for the insane abilities it has. I mean, you are also, but you kind of get all of that from your ultimate form already. You get the dispel, you get the dispel, you get the cleanse, you get turn delay, which is all great. But you're not really going to be able to benefit from your high performance unit area boost or your perceptive gurus boost. And so instead, what you're going to do is you're going to get this deck. You're going to use the ultimate form to give you the 900% damage boost. And then you're going to throw in all your other water cards and your other boosters in order to take it out. All right. And so if you have any of those cards I've shown, let's just go and build it out. Okay. So let's go ahead and build it out so you can see. So if you're talking about water, let's say water chaotic killer, okay, you're going to be using Wavebreaker. Okay, you're going to be using Wavebreaker with Sirens. So let's go ahead and build this out so you can so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is going to be probably what you're going to do, and then I don't really have another good option, so it's going to be something to this effect. This with Sirens. Okay, Headstrong Sirens. Then you're gonna take a look at water Arcane Killer, and that is going to be your, for sure, you have to use you have to use Lost Kingdom Guardians plus a Wavebreak, Watcher of the Waves, and you can also put in Frozen Devastation if you want, because it gives you a nice nuke damage. Now with this one, you're going to be putting in Jailers. Okay, so that's going to be your combination. So this is what it's going to be like, okay? And then if you're talking about Noble, then you're going to be using Santa, which unfortunately I don't have. You're going to use Noble Killer, Slayer. Now, keep in mind, not really good Beast Killer bonus, but there is something you can do. I'll show you. Now, this one is Phantom Unseen with Bloody Mary, because then you can get a really, really nice Gem Crush with tons of power gems because of your relic and because of the skills. This one is going to be Santa. Don't have it, but you know about it. If you want to go Beast, if you want to go with Beast Killer, you can. I don't have good Beast deck. I don't have a good Beast deck, so I wouldn't go that route. So you can go with this, right? So like, again, you have to use all of these options. You must have a Immortal Killer skill. With this one, you can also use something like this, right? You can use the Dorothy deck. So Armored Automaton will give you a damage boost. So what it does is it gives you a damage boost for your Beast Killer cards. Whenever this hero attacks, increase the total damage dealt by Beast Killer heroes by 50% for the following turn. And so turn 0, you attack with this card. Now all of your Water Beast cards are getting a 50% damage increase. And then if you have I can't remember if the ultimate form for this gets a higher damage boost or not, because I don't have it. Can't remember. This one will do, you'll do better. Another one that you can potentially use is an Earth card. Okay, so you have Earth Commander Beast Killer, and that is going to be Visions of the Void. So Visions of the Void also gives you a damage boost, but this one requires you to have Earth gems on the board. So it doesn't quite have great synergy unless you do something interesting where you activate it first with power gems on the board, and then you override it with all the water ones afterwards. Beast is going to be a little bit harder, but Beast Killer gives you damage boost as opposed to attack boost. You're going to have an easier time with the easiest, I think, is going to be Arcane, followed by Arcane is going to be the easiest one to use, in my opinion. Okay, so like for me, this is going to be the deck I will definitely be going with, because I have it. So it's going to be this one right here. This is going to be my setup. Like, I'm not even going to use my event deck. Okay, I mean, maybe I will. Like, I can potentially use that. It'll be something to the effect of where did it go? This, like that, right? Take advantage of an additional turn delay, so I can probably get a little bit more damage. But this is probably how I'm going to go with. That would be the simplest approach. Then the second simplest is going to be the chaotic one, because you don't have to do anything. You just need to get water power gems on the board. You can get Headstrong Sirens in the Proving Ground store. And so that is another option. So you have two decks that you could use, because both Jailers, if you don't have Jailers, if you wanted to get a card from the Proving Ground store, then you're going to go for this card. If you don't have that, you can go with Consecrating Wizardess. Consecrating Wizardess will also get powered by Watcher of the Waves, Lost Kingdom Guardians, and also your Ultimate Form or anything like that. That's the simplest. Let me rephrase that. This is the simplest, and it's the best because you don't have to deal with any Earth Gems whatsoever. This is going to all give you attack. Then I think the Jailer's one is going to be the second. Although I feel like the one that'll give you the most damage is likely going to be the Jailer's option. So Jailer's option is going to give you the best damage, I think. And then you're going to have good damage out of your Chaotic Killer deck and also your Noble deck, as long as you have the cards for them. Okay. So what do I think about this deck? Is this worth going after? Honestly, if you have Apex Predators and you have all these other cards that can give you the boost, you probably will be just fine without it. But if you do get it, you're going to get the added benefit of having the turn delays, all the turn delays and all the, free dispels and the cleanse and everything that comes with it. It just makes it a little bit easier for future. Right? You'll want to use the Ultimate Form in the future for all of that benefit. So you're going to get utility out of it. But the problem is you're not going to be able to benefit from the booster cards this event. So this event, the Ultimate Form, unfortunately, doesn't work very well with what we use to boost. So you kind of have to look elsewhere for the other cards. In the future, though, I think you'll be able to use this deck with any other boosters, and you'll be able to benefit from that, but not this event. So that's my opinion. So is it worth chasing? Not for this event, but for future. You can benefit from in the future, but not in this particular event. And so that is that's sort of like how I see it. And because of all the turn delay possibilities, it will be a very helpful card, if not the whole deck itself, for Guild versus Guild. So that is my just based on what I'm seeing, this is my assessment and my recommendation to you. If you're watching this, take a look at your other killer cards in water, and then build out a card that uses one of the 3 booster cards I talked about. You're going to have a much easier time, and you're going to be a lot less frustrated if you go with that route and not try to make this particular deck work in this event. So BBX, you're guessing the Forever deck is dead? Well, it's one of those, you need multiple Forever decks to combine into a deck that's usable. It is one of the most frustrating things about this game is that no matter what I do, right? No matter how much I try to change things up, I cannot get away from recommending using Ultimate Forms of the past to do anything. Hardly, right? I cannot really do anything to give any suggestions if you want to compete. Because of Radiant Bosses, because of killer skills, if you don't have Ultimate Forms, then you're not going to do well. That is really sort of, the reality. So Forever deck on its own, it's not really true. You're really just getting these Ultimate Forms so that you can hope for it to be useful for you. This deck, I think, can be useful. You're not going to find it useful this event. That is what I think. Love to be proven wrong. So put in the comment below and let me know what you think. But I would say know what you're getting into. Okay, I do need to make sure I say this to you again. If you haven't really been playing, if this is new, or you've gone away for a long time, you're just coming back again to play again, the deck isn't bad. I want to be very clear. The deck isn't bad. But if you are only using it on its own, you're not going to get the damage you're looking for. However, if you get this deck, you'll find that you're going to really like using it in future water events. I guarantee you're going to really enjoy seeing it, using it in future events, and you're going to be very frustrated this event when you use just this deck on its own. Okay, that is for sure what you're going to experience. So just keep that in mind. And if we take a look at let's see, newsfeed, right? So there is the St. Patrick's Day, and they said that they're adjusting the guild bosses, but they didn't say anything about the solo bosses. So I'm assuming no news means that we're going to get Radiant bosses still. There's a week of special surprises. Probably just means we're going to get a bunch of things in our mail. Again, they're not really explaining what that is all about. Then here, be prepared. Here's the so we can unlock the power of the ring. So this is the ring that I was talking about. You got the special relic earlier. And then you'll be able to work with the guild to unlock the potential the potent relics, and then you can combine these relics to make it. There's too many things to read. So when the and also this is the event where if you're a returning player, you're going to be able to get the free deck. So I guess it applies perfectly. If you're a returning player, if you haven't played Legendary for a long time, you used to be a VIP, hey, guess what? You come back, you're going to be able to get a deck. Yay. The rest of us will not get anything, so we won't talk about that. But you're going to get the deck, and if you don't have the booster cards, your event isn't going to be as great as you think it would be. So take a look at the Proving Ground store, see if you can get something. If you play like a year or so ago, you should have some of those booster cards. If you don't, pick one up. Otherwise, you're going to not enjoy the event very much. Okay, and so that is going to be it for me, guys. I can't. There's nothing more for me to say here except I hope you enjoyed the event. Slayers is supposed to be exciting and fun. You're supposed to be able to kill a lot of bosses, but because we're all eventually going to get to Radiant and it's going to slow down to a grinding halt, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But hopefully with some of the deck ideas I presented, it at least should make it easier. And so I hope you have a good event and also enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Hope everybody who celebrates it has a great time. Have a good celebration. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next episode. All right, guys.